In a world that glorifies the grind, Selah is a sacred invitation to pause. Every other week, you'll find space here to slow down, listen inward, and remember who you are beneath all the noise. Through guided reflections, soulful conversations, gentle practices, and story-led journeys, Selah, a deep pause, offers rest. Not an escape, not to repress, but as a way to come home. This podcast is for those standing at the edge of change. You know who you are. The seekers, the sensitives, the high-functioning feelers, those ready to honor the quiet and reclaim their own rhythm. So come as you are and exhale. Then exhale again and stay for the stillness. Hello and welcome back to Selah, a deep pause. Myself and Krissi and
Everybody.
We have real life like always coming at us because we're always like, what are we going to talk about this time? And then real life goes kaboom. It's like, oh, that's a really good topic.
Yeah. I love how it's like, here, do you want to talk about this? This happened. Okay.
So thank you, universe, for always bringing us something to chat about. So I'm going to read some of this and then we'll freestyle it like we normally do.
Let's go.
So this episode, mistakes is medicine and transforming judgment into wisdom. I'm going to guide us through an opening blessing this time before we just take off. The medicine of mistakes. Take a deep pause with me. And I invite you to close your eyes. Soften that jaw. And unclench your chest. And just notice, where does judgment live in my body? Maybe it's the whisper that says, I should have known better. Maybe it's the tightening that shows up when someone else stumbles. And that quiet voice inside that says, I would never. Today, we're exploring the medicine that lives inside those moments. The holy humanness of our mistakes. What if every misstep isn't a failure, but actually your initiation? What if judgment is just love in disguise? Love that's forgotten how to speak softly and with grace. This is where we find grace, where we stop reaching for perfection and begin teaching and begin reaching for each other instead. So welcome to Selah, to this episode of Mistakes as Medicine. Let us explore.
It's going to be awesome. But I mean, I don't know about you. I've never made a mistake. Ever.
No, beat yourself up, not once, but like for years.
I still can go back to something that I did back in like 4th grade and be like, I can't believe I said that to that person. Or I can't believe I did that. Or I can't believe, like, it's amazing. I am 54 years old. Again, yeah, I can literally give you probably 3 examples right now of things that I did back when I was a kid or as a teenager or whenever that I could still spiral out on.
Yeah.
And that's crazy pants.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely crazy pants, but I believe, I'm not going to say every human, but I would be willing to believe 90% of humans all share this.
Right.
All share that we have things that we're like, I can't believe I did that. Or you said it in that opening of, I would never.
Oh,
Until you do.
exactly.
And that I would never, and I did, shame spiral,
Mhm.
shame spiral, and how that can just pull you down into a tar pit. And it's literally a tar pit of shame, judgment, just because it's a tar pit, it's one thing when you're in a pit, you can maybe
Mhm.
climb yourself out, but that tar pit, it just coats you in this,
Yeah.
and it's just all the way it just feels like it's, like, all the way up to your entire body, and there's a huge part of you that believes that that's where you belong.
Yeah.
Because of what you did, whatever it was, you deserve right where you are. You deserve
Correct.
no grace. You deserve no forgiveness. This is where I belong.
Yeah. And it's such a dangerous and slippery slope because it's so you're like, what am I doing here?
Mhm.
Why am I in this? You start questioning everything, and it's such an easy slip because in that little slip, some people make some really devastating decisions
Mhm.
that they don't get to come back from.
It's crazy. It is absolutely
Yeah.
crazy. So let's talk about a couple of things because when we talk about mistakes as medicine, let's break that down to what do you mean by that? Because I would be willing to say people are like, "What? Mistakes as medicine? What do you mean?"
Awareness.
Okay.
These mistakes, I love using the word initiation, um, because the reasons that we make some of these mistakes or play with fire, like like you're taking some steps that you're playing with fire, but yet you're going like, but no, I'm just right at the edge. I didn't do it. I'm just playing with fire until you slip and you actually slip and fall on the other side and you
When you get burned.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Um, what it really is an initiation to take a look of what really why. Why are you playing with fire? Why are you having these feelings? Because we live in this world of busy, responding to everybody, not listening to our needs, our wants, not giving ourselves even permission to have our own desires and express them. And so what we do is we keep ourselves really busy, but in that distraction, what isn't being met or the needs that aren't being met start coming up in temptations, start coming up in thoughts that are gonna push a limit, but what it is it's trying to spark awareness. And I mean, I laugh, especially the last few years. Is like, God, we're stubborn. We're
Mhm.
stubborn. You don't like to take a look at what is trying to get our attention.
Well, that's what keeps us I think, in the tar pit.
Correct.
Because if I look at something else or I put all my attention somewhere else, I don't have to look at me in the tar pit. They don't have to look at me. I can look at
Correct.
you, I look at you, and I can tell you, and I can do all of the things to distract myself because that turning that lens, I'm looking at myself right now. Hmm,
Mhm.
hmm, no, thank you. Because I'll speak for myself in some instances, deathly afraid of what it is I'm looking at. What am I going to see there? Where am I not going to
Yeah.
measure up?
Yes. Yeah. And that is I think we're all learning vulnerability. I didn't realize that before, but one of the things that we have all benefited from in community, even when we're going like, oh, um, that this community isn't perfect anymore, or these things, and we're trying to not we're not taking accountability for what we're feeling or giving space for what's rising up. And so it's an initiation to look at what's rising. It's an initiation to dare to step into vulnerability with yourself and with someone else. What I really like to do is open it up to what if we can see our mistakes as a messenger.
So what do you mean by that?
So rather than falling into a mistake and falling into the loop of like, oh, my failure, the loop of, which is what we all fall into, is we not meeting expectations because we have been trained our entire life to meet other people's expectations. And in that, we've lost ourselves. Gosh, so funny I say that, and I literally kind of got like this feeling like I want to throw up a little bit.
That's not.
It's not, right?
This
But
is
it's like,
recorded. Let's not do that. We're not going to add that to.
But wow, like I'm really feeling it's starting to burn a little. Like, but we take those on really in a big way. And so when we're not meeting other people's expectations, we're also treating it as failure. And then we beat ourselves up. But I think what these mistakes, when we are literally, when this good person that genuinely has good intention, because I know we like to believe that people make mistakes because they're just a bad person. Mm. No, there's just a person that's hurting. It's just a person that's been working so their entire life to meet expectations.
I believe everybody is usually making decisions because they believe what they're doing is the right thing. Like, even if, people, different political beliefs, that person who has a different belief than I do, more than likely, I'm going to say 90% of the time, believes in what they believe in. They believe they're doing the right thing. They're talking about the right thing. Their belief system is built that it's their good intention to do this thing. Now, not necessarily with some mistakes, but I do believe that we all come with, even if we disagree, that person I disagree with fully believes that whatever they think is for the greater good or for the good of themselves or the good of somebody else.
Correct. 100%. And so when we make that mistake, it's a message for us to stop and reflect. Because unfortunately, most of us are not going to stop and reflect on what we're feeling, the choices we're making. And so we got to get our stubborn asses need to make a wrong turn to get hit with a wall of awareness that gets us to go, oh, I really hurt that person. Oh, why did I do that? Oh. And in that thickness, it's like it's really inviting us to self reflect, to self look. And then it's like a little initiation to come back to center in all of these things, and I'm not saying this just from stories, but I mean, literally, Tim and I mean, that's really what I can say my eye is where our relationship healed is in all it was in the moments that some thresholds were crossed. Mistakes were made. You were around to witness one of them.
Mhm.
But it took that. Actually, it just let both of us into, whoa, what are we doing? It took me out of the role of the expectation of like, well, we've been married. Well, we did this. Well. Blech.
Mhm.
And it put him in a space of, oh, shit. I crossed the line.
And when you cross that line, and
Mhm.
I'd say everybody has crossed a fucking line.
Mhm.
Every person listening has
Mhm.
crossed a line. I've crossed
Correct.
lines. I've crossed,
Mhm.
I, I'm 54 years old. Many opportunities to cross lines that I am not fucking proud of at
Mhm.
all.
Yeah.
And I'm still a good person
100%.
on the other side of it. And I
100%.
think that's one of the biggest things of these mistakes is going, "Fuck, I did that. I hurt
Yeah.
someone or I hurt myself or whatever
Mhm.
it is that happened. And I'm still a good person."
100%. Yeah.
And then with the pause in that, because really once my experience is once that happens, there is the downward spiral.
Mhm.
And if there isn't somebody there to help pull you out of it, that you can stay in that spiral for a really long time.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I think what you were talking about is the initiation into it can lead you down to go, okay, hang on. And I think this is what you've talked about with you and Tim before. All right, what is this about?
Mhm.
What pattern or what thing made me made me keep going?
Yeah.
Because there's usually like maybe I shouldn't do that. There is a buildup or, and I can think
Yep.
of recent ones for myself where someone else may have crossed the line where it was like, where was that line? And sometimes that line is like, it is, it is thin and you go over it. And
Yeah.
so when you're looking at it, if I'm the one that made the mistake, where or how, hopefully, where do I get the space to look at it? Like, where do I get the space to
Mhm.
pause? Because, yes, it's probably right after is a reaction. It's just the way it's going to go. There's a reaction. This happened. Bam, 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 bam. Ricochets all of everybody that got hit by it.
Yeah.
But for me, how do I sit with it? I go, fuck, what do I do?
Yeah. The most important thing is step 1, don't wall up.
Mm, yeah.
Self-protect.
Yeah, that's
Because
also the pit.
when
That's also the pit too. You
Mhm.
can wall up, but you can also just go in that pit. The pit is really protective. Nobody can get to you. Nobody can get to me. I stay down here. No, no,
Correct.
no. I don't deserve. I don't deserve. I don't deserve.
Mhm.
And instead of just being like, okay, I'm going to go in this pit. Hold a hand. Just
Correct.
hold one hand. Just hold one hand to help you get out of that pit or outside of
Correct.
that wall.
Correct. Can you allow yourself to be seen in it, held in it? That's one of the biggest things is like a lot of the things that I moved through, I was not able to do it by myself.
Of course not. Because this thing right here will just continue to tell you the story and give you proof of everything terrible thing you're telling yourself.
Mhm.
I'm a bad
Correct.
person. I did this. This is awful. And in your brain is going, yep, you're right. You remember that time back then? Yep.
Mhm.
Here's more evidence.
Mhm.
Here's more evidence. Here's more evidence. Here's more evidence. And it will just
Correct.
continue to be to throw down the evidence. That lawyer's just going, yep, you're right. We must convict. It was like,
No, exactly. And to reach out to somebody that is willing to give you an authentic mirror to look at, you know, and reflect. You know, we definitely don't want to reach out for someone that's it's gonna entertain your story. And I know sometimes actually that's the safe bet. You're like, oh, and intuitively we reach out to the person that's gonna collaborate with us in that story. But the awareness, I promise you, um, if you lean into what is this, everything, every mistake, every move, it's trying to guide you back. The shadow is always trying to guide you back into the light. Always. So do you have the courage to ask for help? Do you have the courage to be seen in it? Do you have the courage to feel, you know, what in you created those emotions, created those feelings? Because we can't control anything else. And in that accountability and the willingness to be seen, it's and it's scary. I know what we're talking about is scary because I know with some of our circles, when some of us have come in and literally said, "This is what I was feeling," and it's like, "Oh my God, are they going to kick me out? Oh, what are they going to think?" And to take the chance of letting what's there be seen and giving somebody the opportunity to just love you through it,
yeah,
continue to encourage you.
yeah. I think that's the big change is one when if I'm going through this and that vulnerability to say, I did this thing or I did a thing, but sometimes might not be, I may not tell
Mhm.
you what I did, but did a thing and I am in it. And
Mhm.
my previous version would have been like, I'm just going to your point, I'm going to wall up. I'm going to stay in here. I'm just going to listen to the voice and I'm just going to spiral out.
Mhm.
And as I've been moving through doing different work, it's like, I want to do something different here. I want to do something different because I can feel it. You can feel it. Nope. This constant, nope, just going to keep going down the spiral. Keep going, keep going, keep going. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to reach out to somebody. I'm going
Mhm.
to just be seen. I'm just going to show up. I'm just going to say, hey, can you just help me? Can you help me? Because most
Yeah.
of what we're spinning out on is previous versions from when we were younger and we did something wrong and we got shamed and we got in trouble. And it's usually that mistake goes back to their younger versions. And those
Yeah.
younger versions of of some type of trauma are the ones that are running the show. They're the ones that are driving the bus and saying, "Nope, we're done. Nobody's going to ever talk to us again. Let's just be done with
Mhm.
it. We were right all along.
Correct.
They were right. Whatever was told to us when we were little, that we're not worthy, that nobody likes you, whatever it is that your younger version heard and internalized and we've carried forever. That's the one driving the bus when we make the mistake. That's the one that comes
And
in and goes,
making
"Nope, got
sure
this. Let's go."
Mhm. And making sure that the story we're telling ourselves plays out. I'm too much. Girls don't like me because da 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 da. So that injured part, that traumatized part of you is doing everything to make sure that the story that you love and have held on to
It's a
plays
good
out.
story. It's a good story. It's
Mhm.
always a good story. And being vulnerable, and I think it's almost always the key, the awareness and the vulnerability, both of which not my favorite, They're not easy to do. It's not easy to stand back and go, "Oh, okay. I see it."
Yeah.
And then,
Hmm.
"Okay, I see it. Now I need somebody to see me."
Yeah. And then there's also
No, thank you.
one of the things that's landing for me too is one of the easy things to do is that, and when you have opened up these, relationships where you have become more and more vulnerable, where you have less walls, where you've been taking the walls down. And then in that space, you make a mistake. The tendency, it's an opportunity to go deeper. It's an opportunity to be really seen and held in something so that you can alchemize and heal and finally see what's been the motor driving everything. But then sometimes when it hits those moments, which it's going to hit for all of us, as we're leaning into ours, we're going to hit those like, oh, shit. The tendency to then eject. And let me go find somewhere else where they don't fully see me. And you're walking away. You're losing an opportunity because you were getting right to the core of an issue and you eject from those relationships.
Mhm.
And
And
then you're really just avoiding again.
well, it's yeah, because it's easy to do. It's worked in the past.
Mhm.
Even if I've done a lot of work, and I've gotten into this core wound and, oh, I can see it, and then I fucked up. Well, they all hate me now. I'm just gonna go back to what's worked in the past. To your point, I'm out.
Mhm.
Because again, that vulnerability of being seen in that mess, because it's messy. It is super messy.
Mhm.
And because there's 2 sides of that, right? It's me being in the mess, and then it's looking at the other people going, "Oh, what do they think of me now?
Yeah.
What do they think of me now?" That's that's really fucking hard.
Yeah. Well, especially because we know that not everybody's in the same place. Some people can hold you in it. The other people that haven't hit that level or haven't allowed people to hold them at that level yet, they feel the triggers in their own body, their own discomfort. And there are people that are not going to be able to hold you in it because your mistake is triggering them, making them go, "Oh, this is why. This is why I shouldn't have let them see me. I should start, so in all of those, as challenging as they are, God, they're medicine for the person that made the mistake. They're medicine for the person that is being triggered and then giving everyone that is around and being impacted in that ripple, your family, your friends, an opportunity to go, "Ooh, why am I so mad?"
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about
Yeah.
that I'm going to judge someone else because of their
Mhm.
mistake, because that's like our initial is we go back to the I would never,
Uh-huh.
but they did. I would never do that. They
Mhm.
did it. And it is how is that also being my teacher when I'm finding myself, and I'll speak for myself because yeah, I'm definitely, you see it on
Mm.
TV all the time. Like, oh, that I would never do that. Clutch my pearls, never do that. But it's
Mhm.
like, well, wait a minute. This person's a human being doing the best that they can, just trying to live this human existence. and
Mhm.
but what if what am I doing? Like, why am I so viscerally holding up these boundaries of I would never do that? That's a line I would
Mhm.
never cross. And so when that other person who I love, I love this person,
Mhm.
where do I find the grace to go, oh, okay, let me look at this. I would never.
Mm.
And why do I it feels like when I say it that I'm holding on to like clutch my pearls, like I would never. And it just like it locks you up. It
Mhm.
locks me up. I feel very locked up in that. And then when someone has done the I would never, okay, this person's my friend. I love them. They made a mistake. And that's it. And they're still a good person.
Mhm.
So how do I slow down? Okay. I want to be here for you. And shit's rising up for me.
Yeah.
I'm really being triggered by whatever happened. How do I look at that? Like, how do
Yeah.
I really just be vulnerable in that and go, oh, gosh,
Yep.
what do I do?
Mhm.
Like, what do you think are some things that we can ask ourselves in that moment where, hey, this person's reaching out to me because of what happened and they need somebody? I mean,
Yeah.
I can think of myself when, whatever I've done, and that if everybody shunned me, like, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the person that shuns my friend that made a mistake or shuns my family member. Or, I've had
Mhm.
my kids say, oh, I did this. And I'm like, okay. And you're still a good person. You made a mistake
Mhm.
and you're still a good damn person. And I think that's the only thing I can keep coming back to is giving them a fucking break.
Correct.
And only
And
because
then
I would give
also
myself a fucking break. Like, I have to be able to give
correct.
myself a fucking break before I can give them a break.
And we know how beautiful those conversations can end up when you're holding space for somebody, but then you get to also say, I need to let you know what's rising up for me in this. Because the judgment that we're feeling, um, not rising up anywhere else but within ourselves. So the invitation there is to be willing to go, where am I feeling this judgment in my body? And why? Because it's not their action. There's something within you that's hitting up a belief system.
Mhm. Well, yeah, as you were talking, I was thinking,
Hmm.
whether that belief system comes from, you know, going to church every Sunday or something, we thou
Hmm.
shalt not dot dot dot. Pick one.
Hmm.
And, you know, a lot of that conditioning is creates
Hmm.
this lines that we will never cross. And then someone we love crosses them or we cross them. And then it's just like, ugh, I guess I'm going to hell.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hmm. And so these are moments that give you an opportunity to free yourself. Um, it opens up when you can open up it because it starts right here, right? So if I'm taking a look at what I'm feeling, if I can be compassionate with myself with when I allow myself to really go, oh, I know what it's about. It cleans our lens and allows us to see the person in truth, not the story. Because man, we're all good storytellers. I mean, it's instant.
Hmm.
Like, oh, it's like, ah,
I like to say I win Academy Awards with some of my stories. I am the best actor. I am the best producer and writer. Mhm. I crush it. I have so many awards on all of the stories that I can
mm-hmm.
tell. And
Yeah,
usually they are just complete fiction.
correct. And you and I have a belief system, that it impacts our field, you know, and these stories are everywhere around us. And so the more we can fall into what we're actually feeling so that we can dissolve those stories and have the capacity to see what's real, what's true. Now, mind you, even in that, the next story's going to come in, but maybe it can be a little cleaner
Mhm.
with a little more grace. you know, I find myself that, when these things happen, like even right now, I'm just going to be transparent with some of the stuff that we've got some rupture that's going on, right? And there's a part of me that I keep checking balances, because I just want to hold space for everyone, right? I want to hold space for everyone, the the individuals that had some big impact on the ripple, and then the ones that were hit by the ripple. And so I've been the last, several days going like, okay, don't forget Laura. Because I almost am at a pace where I have almost too much compassion because I'm like, is there a part of me that wants to be mad? That I haven't given myself permission to be mad? Does that make me a bad person if I let myself like go, why?
I think that's a big question, and especially if,
Mm-hmm.
you know, especially for women. I'll get up on my
Mm-hmm.
soapbox about women in anger, and especially when something happens and it's a direct impact to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I have found myself many times going, "Have you gotten mad at it? Did
Yeah.
you get mad at it? Did you let anger flow? Did you let the sadness flow, or did you pivot for someone else? Did you put
Yes.
that on hold so that you could manage someone else's whatever they're giving you?"
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a big one of wherever you're in the ripple of the whatever impact, whether you're direct,
Mm-hmm.
tsunami hit you, you are trying to get up for air, or you're at the end and you're just like, hey, my got flooded over here. But where are you stopping? I think as you're saying it, where are you taking care of yourself
Mm-hmm.
in it?
Yeah.
Where are you
Yes.
sitting now and going, okay, am I mad? Am I Am I really impacted? Or and it also could be, am I really
Mm-hmm.
impacted? Is this really impacting me? Or am I just riding someone else's emotional wave?
Mm-hmm. And
Be-
that's really easy to do.
yeah, because I think we
That's
do that a
really
lot,
easy to
right?
do.
You
Yeah.
can just get, it's just like getting sucked into the Real Housewives. I cannot believe so and so did such and such, blah 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 blah, and you're sitting on your couch. Zero impact to you whatsoever of what's happening
Mm-hmm.
on whatever it is that you're watching. But we can get emotionally sucked into it and go, I actually don't have anything in this. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do I do with that? Like,
Yeah. Right.
this is none of this is mine, but I can be there and I can just kind of hold space and help support. But that's a really important thing of,
Yeah.
oh, this this isn't really mine. Okay. I can back off.
There's so many avenues here that we're
So many.
covering then talking
So
about, right?
many.
Because we're talking about I made the mistake or your mistake, shit. It just hit me like a tsunami and it had a massive impact on my mission, you know? And in navigating all of that, then you also always have to we want to have grace for others, but again, it always circles back to, ooh, wait a minute, am I giving myself space also to if I'm mad, I'm not gonna stay mad, but I need to give space for
Yes.
that
Moving
and be
through it.
held in it.
I am a big proponent. Move, let
Mhm.
that shit move. Don't just keep,
Correct.
let me just, no, it's fine. It's fine.
Correct.
No, it's not. Let that shit
Correct.
move.
Yeah. And that's a practice.
Mhm.
It's a practice to connect to what upsets us because guess what? I can love you and I can also be really freaking mad at you right now too.
Both things can be
But
true.
both for me too is like I need to allow myself to feel it because if I can allow myself to feel it, then it won't anchor in as a resentment,
Mhm.
you know? And it's there teaching me, you know, something either at a cellular level, at an unconscious level, but there's so much in all of this. Yeah. And why I am community, continuing to lean into friendships
Mhm.
that can really hold you and not have a tendency to run.
It's not easy to do because running's just easier. I mean, not physically
It's
running.
much
I don't
easier.
find physically running easy. Uh, but because that's probably something you've done in the past. You're like, and I'm out. Not this is. I knew this was going to happen. I just was waiting for it to happen, and I'm out.
Yep.
I'd
I
rather,
let them in.
yep.
I was vulnerable.
And
And
here
you
it
see,
is.
this is
It's
why we're
not
not
perfect.
vulnerable.
It's not, it's not the perfect community I thought it was. Of course, it's not. We're people. Of course, it's not.
Hmm.
It's not perfect. Never,
No,
never said it was going to be. But there's
no.
the expectation of Xanadu, of all of
Hmm.
this. We're all kumbaya, we love each other and everything's awesome. And we are human beings living this human experience and just experimenting on should I go this way? Should I go that way? Oh, that was the wrong way. Oops.
Yeah. Yep.
And can I be in that
Hmm.
and just go, oh, okay,
Hmm.
I made a mistake. You made a mistake. I can be here. Oh, that's not mine. Like,
Yeah.
really just I think it's what you're talking about, the awareness of, "Oh,
Hmm.
alright, let me back up. Let me back up."
And mind you, um, the biggest thing is also we're all anyone that's leaning into finding themselves, healing, guess what? We come with some baggage.
I bet.
And that baggage at one point or another, it's just not about keeping it buried. And yeah, sometimes we get to pull out little threads. But sometimes once we pulled out, I feel like I have the image of the dam. We've been pulling out the little pebbles. Guess what? One of the big boulders is gonna go,
Mhm.
and it's gonna create a fucking mess.
Yep. It is gonna flood. It is gonna flood. And there's recovery after a flood. There's a recovery
Correct.
after every major, you know, anything major that's ever happened, there's a recovery period. Now, how long that takes, that's meant to be seen, but there's always a recovery. And if you want to participate in the recovery, is up to you.
Mhm. Correct. Yeah. Mistakes are our biggest teachers. Always, always, always. Mm. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add?
I don't think so. I think this was a good one. And it's a lot, and I think it needs to be talked about because I believe we spend a lot of time just talking about, and we just generally speaking spend a lot of time, oh, this is great, this is good, let's talk about the good things, let's be happy, let's, don't talk about the negative, don't be negative. And I was like, it's there. And the more that we shine a light on it and go, okay, it's not as scary. And the more we talk about things, the more we talk about the mistakes, the more we talk about healing, the more we keep in conversation, the less spooky scary those things are.
Mm.
And I
Yeah.
think it's super important that we just keep talking about it, even though they're usually going to be really uncomfortable. And sometimes just maybe even starting the conversation with, hey, I want to talk to you about something, and this feels really uncomfortable for me to talk to you about. But can we try and see where it goes?
Hmm. Yeah. And when you do that, when you're opening yourself up, it's a really good idea to let the individual that you're asking to hold space for, to let them know, I here are the ears I need. I need I need you to be my best friend. Or like my husband, I love one of the things when I need to talk to him, he goes, okay, do you need me to be husband Tim? Do you need me to be even it goes a boyfriend Tim? Do you need me to be like more of a dad
You
energy?
need
Do
me to
you
hold
want
the
me to
trash.
fix
That's
anything?
one of the things I like
What
to
do
say
you
people.
yes. Mm-hmm. How do you is there any recommendations on how you would like me to listen?
Yeah.
Uh so that they don't start reacting to
Mhm.
you and then you're like, and you start walling up again when God, there's so much freedom. Man, energetically, you feel it when you let so much freedom and letting somebody see and feel what you're feeling.
Mhm. I
It's
think even
powerful.
if you can even let them know, "Hey, I wanna talk to you, and I feel really vulnerable right now."
Yeah.
And sometimes just giving that, say, "I feel really
Hmm.
vulnerable, so if you can, give me some grace while I try and get through this." That's, just giving more information for that person to be able to be there with you is super
Hmm.
important, I think.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
No, I love this
All right.
conversation. Love it. Do you have, something you wanna go out with?
Absolutely. All right. So I'm going to take us out with a closing blessing, but I want to ask you to give yourself permission to feel the words. Sometimes we sit there and hear, but our chest is clenched. We're not giving ourselves permission to feel the words. So I invite you to do so. So, the medicine of mistakes. Take one deep breath with me, breathing in the truth that you are learning and exhaling the need to be perfect. Let the body unclench from the weight of should have known better. Let the mind rest from replaying what can't be undone. And let the heart remember I was never meant to get it all right. I was meant to feel. I was meant to learn, to love, and to begin again. May every mistake I make be a soft teacher, every judgment an invitation to offer myself the grace and compassion I so willingly offer to others, and every rupture be a reminder that grace is still moving through me. When you find yourself in the middle of a misstep, pause, take a deep breath, and whisper to yourself, even here, I am worthy of love. Because the medicine isn't in being flawless, it's in allowing life to touch me deeply enough to transform me. May I walk forward a little lighter today with a little more humility, a little more tenderness, and the courage to keep loving even when it's messy. Selah, a deep pause, a deep remembering, a returning to all of me.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for pausing with me. May what you heard settle gently in your body and stir something true within you. If this episode spoke to your soul, please subscribe and share with someone else who might need this pause as well. Until next time, come as you are, take a deep breath, and stay for the stillness.